I'm sharing my little secret. How come I'm able to avoid being fooled by salespeople? Or how come a salesperson cannot sell me their stuff ever? Maybe it happened few times because I was determined to buy a certain product, so I had to go to deal with a salesperson. But how come I avoid buying crap that I don't need? So I'll give you a hacker perspective. Hackers use the same type of psychology. So first they have to access your mind, and they either inject something in your computer, or they do. It's rush hour here, people are lining up to get junk food and crap, and the thing is they are not happy. Many are not happy with the work they do. They can't wait to get out of the office or the workplace, and they go straight to junk food, to the pub, to something that will provide some sort of a relief, some sort of emotional relief. And that's very common. When you see the pubs full, lineups of places that don't offer love but they offer dopamine. Look at the people who are into that establishment. Okay, go back to the hackers and the salespeople. So hackers had to get access to your data system, to your computer, because you have power there, you have some energy, you have data that is valuable to these hackers. The salespeople have the same type of idea in their head. So you have power, you have the money in your pocket, and they have a product, of course. So it should be a fair trade. But every time when the product is below the normal price or the fair value, there are going to be lots of people wanting that product, and the salesperson have no reason to be around. I've been to Dollarama today and I bought a bunch of cheap food, emergency food, some bags, some whatever, crap food. I was hungry, so my mind had the port open for food. And when you're hungry, you go to buy stuff. Your mind is open for shopping, for buying stuff. It's like hunting and gathering. You're open to grab stuff to satisfy an internal emotion. And at the Dollarama, there was nobody there to come to talk to me, to try to convince me to buy their crap. There were people lining up to get this cheap food. That means you pay this amount and you get, let's say, a good fare or good trade. The trade is fair, so they don't need to hire salespeople to sell you their crap. Now there are salespeople who are selling stuff, but at the same time they provide a consulting and service type of advice to their clients. Without this middleman, the salespeople who make a little bit of money out of taking the product from here and selling there, the customer would not be able to kind of figure out things, especially in a technical area. But when it's about something that's common knowledge, like I want to buy an old used car, why I need a salesperson to explain me how the car works or features and stuff? The salesperson generally want to get my money and make profit. I want to get my money and hide stuff that I may see if I spend too much time onto that premise digging for faults on the car. So they will try to gain your trust, get into your mind, plant some seeds, and take your mind out of focus, or you will lose focus on looking for maybe faults on that car or furniture, and now you will look into the good stuff that they will show you. So they will intensify certain emotions in your mind, like how you feeling good when you drive this car, feeling power, feeling significant, whatever they want to change in your mind. And in my case, when I go shopping, let's say if I have an open port for food, to grab some food, I'm hungry. But in a food place, rarely you will see someone trying to come to make you buy stuff, because the food industry is kind of regulated. It's not only a competitive marketplace, but the food manufacturers and food shops don't have a lot of margin, so their profit is minimal, and they cannot afford to pay a salesperson to walk around and try to convince you that you need this, you need that, and this should be good for you, this should make you happy. No, it's like you go, you know what you want, and you buy your stuff. So you don't need to be worried about food store with aggressive salespeople and coming trying to grab your money out of your pocket. But when you go to hard to sell items like cars, furniture, jewelry, you will or even houses, you will always have someone trying to push something to convince you. And how they do it, so let's say you go there with an intent of looking for the house, so that means you open a port or a doorway or a gateway to allow that information to come in. So you're open, or let's say if you're a different type of mindset, you open your heart to look into the market for a house. So now you are open. It's like all the information about houses are coming to you, and you will ignore food, you will ignore maybe cars and guys, women, sex and stuff, because your mind is open for houses. And you have a salesperson coming to you, and of course if you are open, they have access to your mind or to your heart, depends with what type of emotions you have for buying that product. And since you're open, they have very easy access, because you absorb all the information. It's like someone who is very horny, someone is looking for sex, and doesn't matter who is coming, the person is open. Of course, if you have some sort of a filter in your mind, that's very good. But let's say if someone who is full of lusty thoughts and is really horny, is like and is a low vibe, is like doesn't have a filter for quality. Okay, that person will go for any prostitute on the street, because the person has the open heart for sex, and any prostitute would, I don't know, maybe the person has some filter for how much money I'm paying for this job, or I don't like the bony chicks, I like the little bit chubby ones. So, but still, it's easy to buy the sex from someone who, I don't know, is like doesn't really offer quality. And how I do to avoid the salespeople? First thing, I shut my mind to salespeople. So I tell myself, actually I don't have to tell myself, but since I was very young, I told myself that I don't deal with salespeople. So every time a person with this specification, let's say characteristics or attitude of salesperson comes to me, I know this is a no person. Okay, don't touch, don't talk, don't listen, don't. So I'm totally closed. And if they try and push, I brush them off, or I tell them, you know what, if you say one more word, I'm leaving the store. And I did that several times, and that enforces is enforcing my mental attitude towards salespeople. So when I see them coming, the port is already shut down. They open the mind, the heart, whatever you want. I'm a computer that has very high firewall for the salespeople, and if they come in the proximity, I have all the tools, maybe verbal or maybe my face tells me, you know what, this you don't talk to me. And they try, like the hacker, they keep trying, and at some point they say, you know what, yeah, it's a waste of time, it's not much stuff I can steal from this computer, and they get moved to another network, to another computer which is more vulnerable, right? And generally I'm lucky because other customers are coming in, and the salesperson say, okay, fuck it, I'm going to the next guy. So I have an appointment, I have to go. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Yeah, if you want to avoid people like that, like maybe salespeople, I just gave you an example. Yeah, set up your firewall. Don't go with an open port. You can go with an open port for the product, but not for the salesperson. See you later. Bye bye.